Ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday night in Phoenix, and tonight we are crashing the Eisner Awards. Let's get into it. Thank you for joining me on this very special episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast at this very special time. I know we're going on 30 minutes sooner than we normally do, but this week being Comic-Con at home, I figured why not take the opportunity to finally been, invited to the Eisners. Finally, as in everybody gets invited because you get to watch it from home this year. Take this time to go and we're gonna go to the Eisners, go and watch the awards and react to the winners and yeah, just have a great time. Nice, easy night here to this week on the Absolute Geek Podcast. There's so much going on. It's coming out hot and fast as Comic-Con at home is taking place currently this weekend. So you got all this great news, but we're going to save that for after the award. We'll talk a little bit about stuff that came out this week, and we'll have a good time tonight. So let's, without further ado, I'm just waiting for the Eisner Awards to kick off here, and we'll get them underway. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the Eisner Awards. Woo, clap, 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 clap. Right? Okay. Anyway, here we go. Why is it sharing it like that? I don't want to share it like that. Stop it. Stop it. There we go. Thanks, Phil LaMarr. Couldn't they got Phil LaMarr a better background? He looks like one of my poor Photoshops. What's up, Stick Boy? He could have got a better background than he did. No, that's Reznor. Solo Wookie says, isn't Eisner that guy that sings for Nine Inch Nails? No, that's Trent Reznor. Reznor, sir. All right, Phil LaMarr. Dude, he looks like the silhouette of like the stick figure for a man's restroom sign. And like I love like the break in the green screen at the top of his head. I feel like he's trying way harder. No, Phil LaMarr is not from Reading Rainbow, Solo Wookie. Oh, man. You're thinking of LeVar Burton, Solo Wookie. It looks like she looks like the mom from Throw Mama from the Train or Goonies. Come on, man. This is you got to think this is International Comic Con. You got to think multi-billion-dollar organization or operation, and they could afford something a little bit better than this. Like they could be like on a stage somewhere, where they can still keep it relatively, big, scary, friendly, and have everybody kind of in the background and in acceptance. And like, I mean, you could bring them on the screen to accept, but like you could have these big people in this like studio with a decent background behind them instead of like a $5 cardboard cutout green screen that they got from the Walmart fabric section. I mean, geez Louise. Woohoo. We couldn't quite do our job, so we gave them one more. So he says green screen. They can't feed the people one block down the street in tents, and you want green screen? I know.
You to go to your local comic shop to look for comics, and
thank you, Patrick. Hopefully, I can hear the old lady now.
To visit Comixology for digital versions of this year's nominees. Without further ado, take it away, Phil.
All right, thank you, Jackie.
There goes Phil LaMarr again.
Let's give out some Eisner Awards. This year's nominees are actually truly international. Got over 70 nominees from countries such as Spain, Italy, Japan, India, Russia, Sweden, England, Venezuela, Argentina, and even as far as Canada. Although the French creators have the most nominations with 19. All right, our first 5 categories are
yes, he was
short
from Mad
story,
TV,
single issue, anthology, and our 2 international categories. Let's get started. First group is short stories. Now, this category is for stories that appear within a larger publication, like an anthology or something, or for short stories that appear online.
What's up, Stumbling Jedi?
Actually, seems Chen Chao has 2 nominations in this category, so they're competing against themselves.
No, that's not.
The nominees for best short story.
He's not for Reading Rainbow.
Garden Boys by Henry McCausland. I Needed the Discounts by Connor Williamson. Parts of Us by Chen Chao. Rookie by Greg Rucka and Eduardo Risso. Soft Lead by Chan Chao. And When the Menopausal Carnival Comes to Town by Mimi Pond. And the award goes to When the Menopausal Carnival Comes to Town.
Aww.
Congratulations.
Yay, to a comic about menstrual
next category
cycles.
is Best Single
Woo!
Issue
Congratulations
/
on your
One-Shot.
Eisner.
And the nominees are The Burning Hotels by Thomas Lampion, Hedra by Jesse Lonergan, The Other History of the DC Universe #1 by John Ridley and Giuseppe Camuncoli, Sports is Hell by Ben Passmore, and Stanley's Ghost, A Halloween Adventure by Jeff Balke, Paul Story, and Dave Alvarez. And the award goes to Sports is Hell.
Yeah, woo.
Congratulations.
I always dream of being a football
Next
player with a
category
massive
is
machine
Best
gun.
Anthology.
Tackles and
our
gut 'em.
nominees are X-Mag, edited by Ren McDonald. Guantanamo Voices, edited by Sarah Merck. Hey Amateur, edited by Shelley Bond. Los Angeles Times, edited by Sammy Harcum. Menopause.
Oh,
a comic
here we go.
treatment,
Menopause is going to win.
edited by M.K. Sherwick. And Now, edited by Eric Reynolds.
The Passmore,
goes
he's the
to
quarterback that hogs the ball, right?
Menopause.
I knew it.
A comic
I knew it.
treatment. Bravo. Next
Oh,
up
my
are international
God.
categories.
That's
Just
two
note
menopause
that for
books
both
that
of
win
these
an
categories,
Eisner.
The works must have been
Two
published
books
in
about
English
menopause.
and available in the United States during the 2020 year. First category is Best U.S. Edition of International Material.
I don't blame you,
And the
Stumbling
nominees
Jedi.
are
I'm done, too.
Altitude by Olivier Bochet and Jean-Marc Rochette. Gomayun Tales 1, an anthology of modern Russian folk tales by Alexander Utkin. Goblin Girl by Moa Romanova. Irina, books 2 and 3.
She bleeds.
by
Fuck my
Jean-David
life.
Morvan, Séverine Trefuel,
Right?
and David Evrard. When You Look Up by Decour. And The Winter of the Cartoonist by Paco Roca. And
The Winter of the
award
Cartoonist is actually
goes
really
to
good.
Goblin Girl.
Oh, of course.
Congrats. Our next category is Best U.S. Edition of International Material, Asia.
So is this like manga just translated to English?
I Had That Same Dream Again by Yoru Sumino and Idumi Kirihara.
Hmm. Is that about
I
menopause
Wish I
too?
Could Say Thank You by Yukari Takanami. A Journal of My Father by Jiro Taniguchi.
Hmm.
Ping Pong by Teyu Matsumoto.
That looks like a
Lamina.
riveting book right there.
Junji
Ping
Ito.
pong.
And Spy X Family
Ooh.
by Tatsuya Endo. And the Eisner goes to Ramina. Our next group of categories.
Phil LaMarr's just
is
flying through
individual
these, man. He's
creators,
just
writers,
going to
artists,
town.
Pencilers, inkers, painters, cover artists. First up,
best writer.
Best Writer.
There we go.
And this category is for writers who did not draw their own story.
Comic book. Ping pong is a back and forth book, right?
And the nominees for Best Writer are Ed Brubaker, Matt Fraction,
Hey, Matt Fraction, Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen.
Jonathan Hickman,
Hickman for X-Men.
Jeff Lemire,
Ooh, this is a hard one. Who do you guys think takes this category? I'm gonna say Hickman.
James Tynion the fourth,
Oh no, never mind. James Tynion for Something's Killing the
And
Children.
Chip Zdarsky.
Oh, Zdarsky though. I'm still gonna go Tanyan. Tanyan.
This year's
Hello, Aaron.
Eisner
Thanks for
for
joining.
Best Writer goes to James Tynion the fourth.
Hey, that's a no-brainer. Like
Congratulations,
Something's
James.
Killing the Children is a book
Our
that
next
just
category
dominated the last year
is
and a half.
Best Writer/Artist.
So, congratulations, James Tynion.
Cartoonist. But we're going with Writer/Artist because here at the Eisners, We like slashes. All right. The nominees are Junji Ito,
Junji Ito
Pascal
sandwich.
Jousselin, Trung Lee Win, Craig Thompson,
Ooh, I like that tick.
Adrian Tomine, and Jean Luen Yang. And the Eisner Award goes to Junji Ito.
Hey, good
Now,
job.
our next award is for Best Penciler/Inker or Penciler-Inker Team. And the nominees are Michael Allred,
Ray guns.
Marco Cecchetto, Jorge Corona,
Jorge Corona.
Bertrand Gatignol, Mitch Gerrits, and Evan Doc Shaner,
Strange Adventures.
and Sanford Green.
Bitter Root. Ooh, Sanford Green for Bitter Root.
And the award goes to Michael Allred.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Our next category, Best Painter/Multimedia.
I guess if you get
Artist.
to draw a pretty
Like them
close
flashy.
David Bowie, you get
This
on there
category
automatically.
is for interior artwork, not cover art. All right.
I'm glad that he
Nominees for
clarifies
multimedia artists are
that the work's interior,
Benjamin
not just covers.
Alice Chimama,
This just goes to show that there's a lot more comics out there than the mainstream
Jared Cullum,
of what we know in Marvel, DC, or any of these other like Aftershock
Decor.
or Image, or because a lot of these I've never even heard of. Like,
Antonio Lapone, and Anand RK and John Pearson.
a lot of the art is really, I like the style and the expressionism.
The
And
award goes to Anand RK and John Pearson. Good for you.
this sucks because you're winning all these awards and you don't even get to like partake in this. Like, you don't even get to accept your award. You don't even get to give a speech. You don't get nothing, man. Best cover artist.
And the nominees are Jamal Campbell,
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Far Sector.
Simone DeMeo, Mike Huddleston, Dave Johnson, Peach Momoko,
And of course, Peach is on there. Why wouldn't she be?
and Ramon K. Perez.
I don't know. Like, there's so many great covers over the
And
last
award
year.
goes
Like,
to Peach
Yeah.
Momoko.
come on.
Congrats.
Anything she
Our next
touches
award is for
just
best
explodes.
Coloring. What are comic books without colors? And the nominees
The
are
Walking Dead.
Laura
Sorry.
Allred, Jean-Francois Beaulieu, GP, Marte Gracia,
Empire X of Swords.
Dave Stewart, and Matt Wilson.
Undiscovered Country, Firepower,
And the
and Thor.
award goes to
Matt Wilson.
Laura Allred.
No. I don't
All
really
right,
don't
next,
know.
the Eisner Award for
Best lettering. I
And
hope they have an award
I don't
for
know about you, but
Best
these letters
Tracer.
Are the reason I learned to read.
Best Inker. Best, just
All
the
right.
first
This
tracer.
year's nominees are Mike Allred,
Weren't you nominated
Darren
already,
Bennett.
dude? Come on, that looks like it was not. That looks like it was lettered in MS Paint.
Clayton Coles,
Ugh.
Stan Sakai,
Stan Sakai, there you go. Let's go, Stan.
and Russ Wooten.
I want to get into lettering. It'd be a great way to be in a comic
And
books. And you go to
that's what
Comic Con
goes
and
to
it's like, what did you do for this
Stan
book?
Sakai.
Hell yeah, go to Stan Sakai. What did you do for this book? I'm a
Our
letterer.
next category
I wrote letters
is
and bubbles.
Best Publication Design. Now, this is interesting. Most of the publications that were nominated were designed by the creators of the work.
Phil LaMarr's head disappeared.
Some talent right there. And the nominees for Best Publication Design are Chasin the Bird Charlie Parker in California, designed by David Chisholm and Tyler Boss. Debury at 50, the complete digital Doonesbury, designed by George Crescio and Susan McCaslin.
Page counter would be what Stick Boy could do.
J&K, designed by John Pham.
There you go.
The Loneliness of the Long Distance Cartoonist,
Written by...
designed by Adrian Tomine
Never mind.
and Tracy Huron.
I'm not going to go there.
And Original Art, the Dan Klaus Studio Edition, designed
By Dan Klaus. Oh, shocker.
And the award goes to The Loneliness of the Long Distance Cartoonist. Congrats. Our next award is for Best Digital Comic.
Just flying through this, man.
Category is for works that appear online in comic book format. No, sort of this is the technological version of Jumbo Shrimp. It's two things that you...
Solo Wookie says, I'd have to take my shoes off to be a
Digital
page counter.
comic.
Way too hard.
But nowadays they do.
32 pages, bro.
The nominees for Best Digital Comic are Friday,
Friday, written by Ice Cube.
by
Oh,
Ed
sorry.
Brubaker
Whoops.
and
Whoops.
Marcos Martin.
Not Ice Cube. Not Ice Cube.
Genius Animals by Vali Chandrasekaran and Junpierre Shizawa. Gentle Mind by Juan Diaz Canales, Teresa Valero,
Episode
and Antonio Lapon.
1.
Promethe 1313 by Andy Diggle and Sean Martinbrough.
I want to know how the...
Olive by Vero Cazot. and
Who
Lucy
puts these
Moss.
up for awards? I got to look into that
And
because some of these,
Soon
like,
by Thomas Cadane.
they're winning
and
awards and
Benjamin
you're
Adams.
like, never even heard of them.
And the award
But I guess
goes
maybe
to
they're more European
Friday.
comics than Americanized
Now our
and
next
Western
category
comics, but
is Best Webcomic. This is for
Homestuck.
long-form comics
Wait,
that are
what?
created specifically for viewing online and are often serialized, but a variety
so
of
Loki said
formats.
I'd have to have my girlfriend take off her shoes too for bigger
Nominees
books.
Are
Yeah, it's hard. Counting's hard.
BFF.
Math,
Like
math is hard.
C. Fabre, Joseph Safiaddin, and Thomas Cadane. Crisis Zone by Simon Hanselman. DPS Only by Vel. Isle of Elsie by Alec Longstreth. The Kiss Bet by Ingrid Ochoa.
European,
And
no, you're
The Middle
European.
Age by Steve Conley. And the Eisner
Middle
Award goes
Age.
to Crisis Zone.
I'm,
To you.
I thought this would have been more.
And coming up next are our
To this,
categories
like-
for kids and teens and humor and adaptations. Now, the number of submissions in the kids category,
Maybe this is why we're never invited to the Eisners because it's always just
which is I think,
boring
an
and-
indication of the popularity of
and
graphic novels among kids,
full of
parents,
books you've never heard before. Maybe
and
I just need.
librarians.
I need to be cultured.
The
Maybe
first
I'm just
award
the
is for
uncultured swine,
Best
which
publication for early
I only
readers.
read funny
Is
books
for
from
schools
Marvel,
with children
DC, and
up to
Image, and
age 8
yada yada yada. But maybe I need to
These
get
are
cultured and read web book
Bear.
comics and
by Ben Queen and Joe Todd Stanton.
get out there.
Cat Kid Comic Club by Dave.
There we
King.
go. I'm gonna buy that book for my daughter tonight.
Donut Feed the Squirrels.
Oh my god,
By
that's a
Mika
Solo
Song.
Wookie book. Solo Wookie wrote that book. Donut Feed the Squirrels. Come on.
Cody by Jared.
That is a
Cullum.
dad joke written book right there. Donut
Lift.
Feed the Squirrels.
by Min Lei and Dan Santos.
Congratulations to Solo Wookie for his nomination on
And-
Donut Feed the Squirrels.
Our Little Kitchen by Jillian Tamaki. And the award goes to
Donut Feed the Squirrels.
Our Little Kitchen.
Ah, you mother.
Our next award is for Best Publication for Kids.
Donut
which
Feed the Squirrels should have
are all
won.
books suitable for children from ages 9 to 12. The nominees are Doodleville by Chad
Doodleville.
Sell, Go with the Flow by Lily Williams and Karen Schneeman, Mr. Invincible, Local Hero by Pascal Jousselin, Snapdragon,
See, Donut
By
Feed
Pat
the
Lay.
Whoa.
by Jean Luen Yang.
What kind of clan are we talking
Uri
about?
Hiro. And Twins by Varian
I need
Johnson
more
and
information
Shannon Wright.
to know what clan Superman
The
was
Eisner
smashing.
Award goes to Superman Smashes the Klan.
What
Okay, next up.
what kind of
Publication
smashing are we
for
talking
teen.
about? Are we talking about
Now,
like
these are books that are aimed
in the
specifically at readers from age
biblical
13
sense,
to
or
17. And the nominees are Check Please, Book 2, Sticks
local
and
hero or
Stones
Grubhub worker?
by Ngozi Ukazu. Displacement by Kiku Hughes. Dragon Hoops by Jean Luen Yang.
Oh my god.
Bites. One Boy's Triumph Over Violence by Joel Christian Gill.
Kid and play.
A Map to the Sun.
That reminds
by
me of
Sloan Leong.
that reminds me a lot of like Paper Girls, like a
And
Paper Girls cover.
When Stars Are Scattered by Victoria Jameson and Omar Mohammed. And the award goes to Dragon Hoops.
I hope that's literally like
Jing Yang needs to buy some more shelves.
good joke, Phil LaMarr.
Is Best Humor Publication. Nominees are The Complete Fante Bukowski by Noah Van Siver. Department of Mind-Blowing Theories by Tom Gauld.
I think that's like Solo's book right there.
Fangs by Sarah Anderson. Wendy, Master of Art.
Dude,
by
if I
Walter
could draw
Stone.
like that, hey, can I get a comic book, please?
Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen.
Matt
By
Fraction.
Matt Fraction and Steve Lieber. And What If We Were by Axel Lenoir. The award goes to Superman's pal,
Jimmy Olsen. Matt
The
Fraction.
next category is Best Adaptation. Now,
From
adaptations
another
can
medium.
include comics works that adapt novels, TV shows, or movies, plays, any other work that appeared in another medium.
Man, I feel underdressed. I should have dressed up like
The
Phil.
nominees this year range from adapting government documents to anthropology to classic science fiction novels to a 1946 radio show. So we got some range happening here. The nominees for Best Adaptation from Another Medium are Constitution Illustrated by R. Sikorak.
Okay.
Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler, adapted by Damian Duffy and John Jennings.
It's actually kind of a dope cover.
Sapiens, A Graphic History, The Birth of Humankind, adapted by Yuval Noah Harari, David Vandermeer.
I like the thumbprint
Daniel
to be the
Kazanov.
top of the dot for the eye. That's cool.
Slaughterhouse-Five
Ooh.
by Kurt Vonnegut, adapted by Ryan North and Albert Monteys. And Superman
Smashes the Klan. What
adapted
again?
by
Can I
Gene
get some
Luen
kind of
Yang
like
and
anybody
David-
read that book? Can anyone give me a little
The
bit of
award goes
emphasis on
to-
what kind of clan he's smashing?
Superman Smashes the Klan.
Like
Seriously,
mean,
Gene, people are going to think you
I
just
feel like this book is
bought
just
these to
like
decorate your place. Now we're moving on
misleading.
to the categories for archival works.
Because it's like
journalism,
Superman in the air
comic-related
with
books,
two
and
kids
television.
running underneath and smashing the Klan. Oh.
The thing
okay.
is you have to read. Actually, this is funny because this is words about
So he
pictures.
says, I feel bad for reading Rainbow Dude. His face looks just terrible and he
First
doesn't
up,
even look like the
Best
same dude.
Archival
It's not the
Collection
same
or
dude.
Project,
He's not.
comic strips. And the nominees are
He's not
The
reading
Flapper
Rainbow,
Queens,
dude.
Women Cartoonists
LeVar
of
Burton
the
is
Jazz
reading
Age,
Rainbow. Phil LaMarr is Mad
Gross
TV.
Exaggerations, the Meshuggah comic strips of Milt Grove. Crazy and Ignatz, 1919 to 1921, by George Harriman. Little Debbie and the Second Coming of Elmo, daily comic strips by Cecil Jensen. And Pogo, the complete syndicated comic
Walter
strips,
Kelly.
Volume 7, Pockets Full of Pie, by Walt Kelly. And the award goes to The Flapper Queens, women cartoonists.
I
of
hope
the
he
Jazz
just.
Age.
I hope they give him an actual
Next
award for
category
each
is
category, or
Best
does he just keep
Archival
holding up
Collection
the
or
same
Project,
Eisner over and over again?
Comic books. And the nominees are Art Young's Inferno by Art Young, Atlas at War.
I don't think
edited
he's tried
by
to be
Michael
funny.
J. Vassallo.
He was bad TV.
The Complete Hate by Peter Bagg. Corto Maltese, The Ballad of the Salty Sea by Hugo Pratt.
That cover looks like somebody
Little Lulu
drew Clint
Fuzzy
Eastwood
Fingers
in
Poopy
an airport
by
as a
John
cartoon.
Stanton. And Man and
And
Superman,
Superman.
and Other Stories by Harvey Kurtzman. And the award goes to The Complete Hate. Next, we have Best Comics-Related Periodical / Journalism. The nominees are Alter Ego.
I want to
edited by
know
Roy Thomas.
again.
Back Issue, edited by Michael
Hey, that's a
Ure.
man thing.
The Comics Blog by Michael
Ooh.
Kavna and David Betancourt.
Oh, well,
The Comics Journal.
Absolute
by
Geek
R.J.
should have
Casey,
been nominated
Chris
for this
Valenti, and Gary
category.
Roth.
Best comics related journalism.
Panel X
This is
Panel
journalism.
magazine, edited by Hassan Otsman Elhau, and also, lastly, Women Write About Comics.
We're doing a
edited
service
by
here.
Nola Fong
Journalism.
and Wendy
Damn it.
Brown.
We hold it to the
And
utmost
the award goes to
journalistic integrity.
Women Write About Comics.
Congratulations, the women
Next
write about comics.
Category is
Best comic related book.
book. Now, this is for non-fiction books about
Phil LaMarr's head's
all
gone again.
aspects of comics that are geared toward the general reader or fan. And the nominees are American Daredevil, Comics, Communism, and the Battles of Lev Gleason by Brett Dakin.
Sorry about your battle,
Ditko
Love
Shrugged,
Ooh.
the uncompromising life of the artist behind Spider-Man and the rise of Marvel.
I gotta look that
Comics
up. That's
by
probably
David
interesting.
Curry.
Ditko Shrug.
Drawing Fire, the editorial cartoons of Bill Malden, edited by Todd DiPastino. The History of EC
Comics.
Comics by Grant Geisman. Invisible Men, the
Trailblazing
Black
Artists
Artists of Comic Books by Ken Quattro.
Bet you that's a good read too.
And Masters of British Comic Art by David Roach. And the Eisner goes to
Take the easy road. Go to the Abbey Road cover,
Invisible
of course.
Men,
Yep,
the
there you go.
Trailblazing Black Artists of Comic Books. Now we have the Eisner Award for Best Academic or Scholarly Work.
The logo says "Drawing Fire," not a single flame on the cover of the book.
The nominees
Right.
are Comic Art in Museums, edited by Kim A. Munson.
I think all comic art
Comic
belongs in a
Studies,
museum.
A guidebook, edited by Charles Hatfield and Bart Beatty. The Content of Our Caricature, African American Comic Art and Political Belonging by Rebecca Wanzo. Webcomics,
Very
by Sean
political
Kleefeld.
this year. Very, very.
and
A lot of the
Who
winners in these
Understands
categories are
Comics?
very cultural
Questioning
and
the
political.
Universality of
this year.
Visual Language Comprehension by Neil Cohn. And the Eisner goes to The Content of Our Caricature, African American Comic Art and Political Belonging. All right, now we're getting to our final categories for this year's Eisner Awards.
Oh, here we go.
And they're for the best new, limited, and continuing comic book series, and for the best reality-based works and graphic albums of the years. And the judges have also added a new category this year, Best Graphic Memoir. I love new stuff. First category is Best New Series. In order to qualify, at least 2 issues of the comic book series must have been published in the year 2020. Nominees are
Black Widow,
Black
Kelly
Widow
Thompson.
by Kelly Thompson and Elena Casagrande. Crossover
Donny
by
Cates.
Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw. The Department of Truth by James Tynion IV and Martin Simmons. Philadelphia by Rodney Barnes.
This is a hard category, but
Jason
I'm going to say
Shawn
Donny
Alexander.
Cates. Actually,
And We Only Find Them When They're Dead
oh, Al
by
Ewing.
and Simone DeMeo. The Eisner Award for Best New Series
That's a tough.
goes
That's a
to
tough category.
Black Widow
Yeah, good on Kelly Thompson,
Next up,
man.
Best Limited Series. In order
Congratulations,
to qualify,
Kelly
at least
Thompson.
half of the issues of this series had to have been published in 2020. The nominees are Barbalian Red Planet by Jeff Lemire, Tate Brombal, and Gabriel Hernandez Walta. Decorum by Jonathan Hickman and Mike Huddleston. Far Sector by N.K. Jemisin and Jamal Campbell. Strange Adventures by Tom King, Mitch Gerrits, and Evan Doc Shaner. Superman's Pal Jimmy Olsen by Matt Fraction and
Matt
Steve
Fraction's
Lieberman.
getting nominated for a lot of
And
stuff today.
We Live.
We
by
Live.
Naki Miranda and
Let's
Roy
go.
Miranda.
We Live. Good such a good series.
The Eisner Award goes to Superman's Pal
Jimmy Olsen. I feel like Matt Fraction
award
just
is for
throws these in a
Best
box and it's like, oh,
Continuing
another one?
Series.
You can see him at
Here
a
are
yard
nominees.
sale. Eisner's
Peter
2 for
Ruth.
$1.
By David F. Walker, Chuck Brown, and Sanford Green. Daredevil by Chip Zdarsky and Marco Cicchetto. The Department of Truth by James Tynion IV and Martin Simmons. Gideon Falls by Jeff
Ooh, that's a good
Lemire
book too.
and Andrea Sorrentino. Stillwater by Chip Zdarsky and Ramon K. Perez.
So Zdarsky's been
And
nominated
Usagi
twice in this
Yojimbo
category.
by
They're
Stan
telling me
Sakai.
we can't narrow down to 5. Some categories have 6,
The
but you're going to
award
nominate
goes to
Zdarsky twice in one category?
Usagi Yojimbo.
There you go.
Now, here
Stan
are the
Sakai.
nominees for best reality-based work.
Maybe that's a problem.
Love that.
If you can't narrow it down, but you're going to nominate that same dude
Nominees
twice
are
in one category,
Big Black.
get rid of one.
Stand at Attica by Frank Big Black Smith, Jared Reinmuth, and Amaziani. Dragon Hoops by Jean Luen Yang. Invisible Differences, a story of Asperger's, adulting, and
Oh, I
living
bet you
in
that
naked,
was because it's
full
very
color
on the nose.
by Mademoiselle
Invisible
Caroline
Differences probably
and
wins.
Julie Dachez. Kent State, 4 Dead in Ohio
Oof.
by Durf Backdurf.
Durf.
Paying the Land by Joe Sacco. And Year of the Rabbit by Tian Viesna. The Eisner goes to Kent State, 4 Dead
I was
in
wrong,
Ohio.
but that's still very
Next up is Best Graphic
graphic and
Memoir.
memoir.
Now, this used to be part of the reality-based category, but this year's judges found so many outstanding memoirs were published that really they deserved a separate category.
Because nobody else had
Category
anything
overall.
better to do in the
Nominees
last
for Best
year
Graphic
than
Memoir
sit at
are
home and
Banned Book
publish
Club
memoirs because you
by
couldn't go
Kim
anywhere.
Yoon-suk, Ryan Estrada, and Kyo Hyung-ju. Dancing After 10 by Vivian Chong and Georgia Webb.
That's a book about a little girl who thinks
Ginseng
cool things
Roots
happen after she has to go to bed at
by
8 o'clock.
Craig Thompson.
It's not really.
I Don't Know How to Give Birth
What the
by
fuck?
Ayami Kazama.
What the fuck is that? Why
The
is it like a
Loneliness of the Long-Distance
7-year-old
Cartoonist
girl worrying about how to
by
give
Adrienne
birth?
Tomine.
What the?
And When Stars Are Scattered.
I hope that's a book that's just
by
like how she
Victoria
sees
Jameson
herself. Like
and Omar Mohammed.
she just constantly sees herself in this
The award
perpetual
goes
state of being a child. Like, whew.
The Loneliness of the Long Distance Cartoonist. All right, next up is Best Graphic Album Reprint. These are books that collect material that was originally published within the last 20 years. First nominee is Black Hammer Library Edition by Jeff Lemire, Dean Ormston, Emmy Lennox, and Rich Tomaso. Criminal Deluxe Edition by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. 8-Lane Runaways by Henry McCausland.
All right, guys, we're gonna run away from home.
Monte
We all got to
Bukowski,
run in
Complete
8 different
Works by
lanes.
Noah
Don't
Van
run
Sciver.
single file. Spread out.
Hero Bear and the Kid, The
Hero Bear.
Heritage by Mike Kunkel. And Seeds and Stems by Simon Hanselman. The Eisner Award goes to Seeds and Stems
by Brian McClay.
Congrats. And now our last category is
Best graphic album.
New. The nominees are The Book Tour by Andy Watson, Dragman by Stephen Appleby, Flake by Matthew Dooley, Labyrinth by Ben Argon, Paul at Home by Michelle Robigliati, and Pulp by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. The Eisner Award goes to Pulp.
Pulp.
Congratulations.
Woo.
Our next award is one that was near and dear to Will Eisner's heart. The Will Eisner Spirit of Comics Retailer Award.
Oh, here we go. Do we have anyone in Phoenix?
Comic-Con about initiating the award back in 1993.
Do we have anyone in Phoenix nominated this year?
The comic shops play in the
Drawing the Comics is usually nominated.
Vital link between creators and readers, and creating the sense of community that is part of all of our love of comics. Now, the Spirit of Comics Retailer Award is given out to retailers who have done an outstanding job of supporting the comic art medium, both in the industry at large and in their local community. Fans from around the world have the opportunity to nominate their favorite stores using a form on the Comic-Con website. Remember that for next year. Now, a committee will then consider the submissions and choose 5 finalists like they did this year, from which they will then select the winner. This year's committee consisted of comic book writer Henry Barajas, comics artist Ryan Benjamin, Kyle Creamer of Diamond Comic Distributors, past Spirit recipients Sergio Lopez of Nostromo Comics in Seville, Spain, Tata Rambo and Helm Greycastle from Top Cow Productions, as well as noted comics creator Jeff Smith. And as in past years, the facilitator for the judging was Joe Ferrara, owner of Atlantis Fantasy World in Santa Cruz, California. And the coordinator for the Retailer Award is Comic-Con's treasurer, Lee Oath. All right. Now let's see what the committee came up with.
Ooh, let's see what we got.
2021 finalists for the Spirit Award are The Comic Bug in Manhattan Beach, California, Kingpin Books in Lisbon, Portugal.
Portugal. Wow.
The Laughing Ogre in Columbus, Ohio. Rogue City Comics in Medford, Oregon. And Zeppelin Comics in Benicia, California. Got to go to those places. All right. The 2020.
You live in California, bro.
Spirit of Comics Retailer.
Gotta go to those places.
Is The Laughing Ogre in Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio. Shout out anyone in Columbus, Ohio. Let us know. Shout out to Chris, Laughing Ogre.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Laughing Ogre.
Community of comics. Right now, I would like to introduce Ruth Clampett. Ruth is the daughter of the great animator Bob Clampett, and she will be joining us to present this year's
Bob Clampett Humanitarian Award.
I'm Ruth Clampett, and I'm so proud to present this year's Bob Clampett Humanitarian Award. Our family is grateful to Comic-Con for honoring our father in such a meaningful way. This year's recipients are so deserving for the amazing effort they put in to support a very important cause. During these very trying times, famed comic artist and creator Mike Mignola and his wife Christine had the idea to auction off many of his original drawings to raise money for the World Central Kitchen. It was started by famed chef Jose Andre, who established the Central World Kitchen in 2010. They served
Jed Clampett's brother and niece. Yep, exactly.
For people who are affected by natural disaster and other crises around the world. Mike's sketches were sold at online auctions and raised over $420,000. In addition, Dark Horse has published a collection of the sketches, Mike Mignola, The Quarantine Sketchbook, which is expected to increase the overall charity contribution to $500,000. What an extraordinary accomplishment. So it's with much joy and appreciation that I present the Bob Clampett Humanitarian
Jethro's
Award
cousin.
to Mike and Christine Mignola. What a wonderful,
Hey,
and
congratulations, Mike,
inspiring
Christina
contribution
Mignola.
you have made to such an important charity, helping so many people in need.
Thank you, everybody. This is so great.
Thank you, everybody. I just threw this shirt on because I saw it in the background and didn't want to put you off with my grotesque chest hair.
I just did.
My wife here looks like she's disappearing into the back of our chair.
It was Christine who actually turned that into.
She said, I don't want to match you, so she made me put on this blue jean shirt over my black tank top just because I didn't want to match her blank sweater. We didn't want to blend in together and look like we had two heads, one body.
Touched me.
Oh, he touched her.
And thank you to the World Central Kitchen and Jose Andreas, who's taken this money and put it to great use by feeding people.
Show us on the doll where he touched you.
And
thank you, Dark Horse, for
you're welcome.
And everyone at Dark Horse, my editor.
Dark Horse, welcome. Says you're welcome.
Everyone else there.
I took care of it for
these drawings and put them together. So not only did we do the auction, or Christine did the auction, but Dark Horse published the book and agreed to donate the proceeds from the book. So thank you to Dark Horse. Thank you to the Clampett family, to the Eisner people, whoever they are.
And thank you to the fans who supported us on this.
Shelled out a lot of
money
for a very good cause.
Yes, so. Thank you all, and be kind.
Good night.
Thank you.
And now we have reached the point in the Eisner Awards where Comic-Con honors individuals who over the course of their lives have made significant contributions to the comics mediums by inducting them into the Hall of Fame. And in order to announce our new inductees, let's bring out the great Sergio Aragonés, a Hall of Famer himself, to announce this year's new inductees. Sergio?
Hola. Otra vez aquí. Once again here. And it's always an honor for me.
Hey, Sergio, looking good.
To introduce the inductees for the Eisner Awards Hall of Fame. In the past, the Eisner judges.
Dude, it just kills me that they couldn't have got a better background for this stuff, man.
This year, they have chosen 6 automatic inductees. The first 2 choices are in a new category, Comic Pioneers. These inductees are Thomas Nast and Rudolph Toffler. Thomas Nast is often considered to be the father of the American cartoon. He started out as an illustrator for Harper's Weekly in 1860. His cartoons advocated the abolition of slavery, opposed racial segregation, and deplored the violence of the Ku Klux Klan. In the 1870s, he used his cartoons to crusade against New York City's political boss, William Tweed. He popularized the elephant to symbolize the Republican Party and the donkey as the symbol for the Democratic Party. And he created a modern image of Santa Claus. Swiss artist Rudolf Toffler is known for his picture stories that are considered the predecessors to modern comics. These works were distinctively different from a painting, a political cartoon, or an illustrated novel. The images follow clear narrative sequences over a course of many pages, rather than just a series of unrelated events. His works became very popular through Europe in the 1830s and the 1840s. His comic story, The Adventures of Mr. Obadiah Oldbuck, was published in the United States in 1842 as a supplement to the New Yorker newspaper, and it is considered by many to have been the first comic book. The judges also chose 2 deceased creators to be inducted on the Hall of Fame, Alberto Breccia and Stan Goldberg, 2 cartoonists that I had the great honor to meet personally. Alberto Breccia was an Argentinian artist who worked from the 1840s through the 80s with writer Hector Germán Osterheld. They created the influential comic strip Mort Cinder, produced from 62 to 1964. He was a member of the Venice group that Hugo Pratt, another European artist, created. One of Brescia's last work was a series called Paramos, a critique of life under dictatorship in Argentina. This work led to him receiving an award from Amnesty International in 1989. Stan Goldberg started his career in 1949 at the age of 16 as a staff artist for Timely Comics, where he became head of the color department.
Timely.
Stan created the color designs for many of Marvel's Silver Age characters, including Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four, and the Hulk. He also drew such Marvel titles as Millie the Model and Patsy Walk. After leaving Marvel, he began a 40-year career at Archie Comics, with his work appearing in such titles as Archie and Me, Betty and Me, Live with Archie, Archie's Pal and Gals, Laugh, Pep, and Sabrina, the Teenager Witch. From 1975,
Sabrina the Teenager Witch.
Stan drew the Archie Sunday newspaper strip. Accepting the award for Stan is his son, Steve Goldberg.
Hi, I'm Steve Goldberg, son of the late Stan Goldberg, and on behalf of my mom, Pauline, and my brother, Bennett, we just want to share our gratitude for this very prestigious award bestowed upon my dad. My father truly loved what he did. Drawing pictures put a smile not only on his face, but also on the faces of kids all over the world. My dad had a storied career that included stints at Timely, Marvel, DC, and Archie Comics, among others. Beginning as a colorist in the late 1940s, he created many of the color schemes for what would become Marvel's major characters. From there, he found his true niche and love, which were the humorous teenage titles so many of us grew up on, including Millie the Model. In the early 1970s, my dad began his love affair with the gang from Riverdale and spent the next 40 years drawing Archie and all his pals. I know if my dad were alive today, he would absolutely be honored to be receiving this prestigious award. And in his memory, I want to offer my gratitude and say thank you.
Finally, the judges chose two living persons to be automatically inducted into the Hall of Fame. They are Françoise Mouly and Lily René Phillips. Françoise Mouly founded Raw Books and Graphics in 1978. With her husband, Art Spiegelman, she launched Raw Magazine in 1980, which is perhaps best known for serializing Spiegelman Award-winning Mouse. The magazine also published work by Linda Barry, Charles Burns, Lorenzo Mattotti, Gary Panther, Jules Swart, Jacques Tardy, and Chris Ware, to name but a few. When Françoise became art director of The New Yorker in 1993, she brought a large number of cartoonists and artists to the magazine interiors and covers. In 2008, she launched Toon Books, an imprint devoted to books for young readers done by cartoonists.
I want to thank you. Thank you for inducting me in the Hall of Fame.
You're welcome.
I hear that I'm a living legend. I know I'm alive.
You're a
or at
living
least I
legend.
think so, but
Yeah.
legend, I'm not exactly sure what I'm being known for or recognized for. In a
Okay.
field where every obscure comic book, there's someone somewhere who knows who colored or lettered it as well as penciled it. Maybe I'm being honored for coloring Marvel Comics 40 years ago. Or maybe it was a work around that time in 1980 till the early 90s where I was publishing and co-editing Raw magazine and insisting
Neil Gaiman
the
gets
comics were
inducted. All right, I'm going to stop this here because we're almost at an hour. Look, this isn't what I wanted. This isn't what I thought it was going to be. You know, the Eisner Awards, I take away two things from it this year. One, I'm going to try like hell next year to get this podcast to be nominated for an Eisner for comic journalism. God damn it. And I'm going to start my own comic book because apparently, you know, it's easy from what I saw here. The simplistic art, simplistic stories. You just gotta have a story and some art and get it out there and into the front of the right people. So let's see if we could do that too. You know, I can see why. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I love San Diego Comic-Con. I love going to Comic-Con each and every year. It's something I look forward to. It's something that sucks that we've had to miss out for 2 years now in this pandemic. But this Comic-Con from home stuff just doesn't hit. And especially like when you don't have So Marvel owning 20th Century Fox now, you're not seeing movies coming from them like we saw last year at this when we got the New Mutants trailer. Marvel and DC pulling their cinematic stuff out of here, so you're not getting any big announcements from them. This has been going on since Wednesday, and you're not getting any big announcements from them. Like, it just hits different, man. Comic-Con not being online and not at home just hits different. It's like people don't care. It doesn't hit the same. It doesn't carry the same weight. It doesn't carry the same value. The news isn't there. The hype isn't there. It's kind of like whatever. So I sincerely hope that this is the last year we have to go back to we have to do this, and this is the last year we have to suffer through Comic-Con at home. And I can't wait to see everybody. God willing, I'm having a kid next year in January and getting married, and I've got a lot going on, but God willing, I sincerely hope to see as many of you as I can next July in person in the San Diego Convention Center and join this all together, because Comic-Con at home just doesn't cut it. Even the Eisner Awards just aren't cutting it. So I don't know. This opened my eyes to show me that there's so much more out there than what I read every week. There's so much more out there available to me that I need to get cultured on and dive into than your normal DC, Marvel, Image, IDW, Aftershock, A24 Upshot, like so much more than the mainstream books that we read. There's online stuff. There's more stuff to seek out there and to partake in. So I'm going to definitely look at that too and broaden my horizons in this medium moving forward to next year. But, just to touch on a couple of things before we go here, if you're looking for something to watch this weekend, definitely check out He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Revelations. Mrs. Lon said I was going to hop on earlier, but I got sidetracked watching the new episode 90 Day Fiance that dropped. Hey, look, probably a better choice. Let's face it. Watching 90 Day Fiance was probably a better choice. But like I was saying, check out Masters of the Universe. Don't let the review bombing of this show get you down. It's only 5 episodes. I think Kevin Smith did a fantastic job. It's great. And it just goes to show maybe you don't have to be a mega fan of the medium to kind of understand it and get it and give us a fresh take and perspective. It's getting the reviewed bombed to shit by fans. The critics love it. It's getting reviewed bombed to shit by fans because they don't like the female empowerment aspect of it. And it's called He-Man, and Prince Adam's not really in it that much, but it's still a great story to be told. The voice acting in it is great. So if you got a couple hours, they're like 35-minute episodes each, and there's only 5 episodes of part 1 out right now. So if you got a couple hours to kill and you want something to watch on Netflix, definitely check out Masters of the Universe, Revelations. I had a great time watching it. If you're an anime fan, we got some big news today that dropped out of the Dragon Ball world that we're going to get a new Dragon Ball movie in 2022 titled Dragon Ball Superhero. And they released some art for that. So if you're excited for the Dragon Ball Super, check that out. Solo Wookie says 90 Day Fiance. We had fucking Reading Rainbow in the house. You went 90 Day? Trekkies. Hey, I don't blame her. 90 Day Fiance all the way. We got a little bit of news that Leslie Grace was cast as Barbara Gordon, HBO's Batgirl movie. Again, I think I touched on this before, but Batgirl, it doesn't sound or isn't good selling point in the faith of this character moving forward if you're going to move Batgirl right to HBO Max. Mrs. DeHaan says, you spelled Trekkie wrong. Know your nerds. Damn. Shots fired. So look forward to Batgirl, I guess, coming up. It kind of makes me wonder if this is going to play with this casting if this movie is going to play into Matt Reeves' Batman. And if the her dad is going to be the same Commissioner Gordon that's in the Matt Reeves Batman movie and attached to the HBO Max, the Batman show that they're coming out with after that. And the big news today is that Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, and it's a sign that the times are changing and we're getting back to somewhat of a normal state here, is New York Comic-Con 2021 badges sold out in less than 12 hours. So that means that people are ready for cons. They're ready to go back. 12 hours for New York Comic-Con. And I believe you had to jump through hoops, like extra hoops for New York Comic-Con. This year, like you had to be part of another site and get in a lottery. And it just, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that was the case, that there was extra steps you had to go to try to get New York Comic-Con's badges this year. They said, yeah, all badge types are now sold out. We're moving forward with the existing capacity limits at this time. Okay, so it's going to be, yeah, it's sold out, but it's still capacity limit. So maybe it's going to, they're talking about opening up more as limits allow. So there you go. You might get a second round of New York Comic-Con tickets released, but it just goes to show this Comic-Con home stuff, man. It doesn't hit the same not being there in person, and this online stuff just isn't what you want. Like, you can go on and I don't know, it's just not the same. And especially with Marvel and DC, like Marvel and DC not being there, it definitely takes the air out of Comic-Con, or the air of excitement out of Comic-Con, because you're not going to get really any Star Wars news. You'll get comic news, I'm sure, but you're not going to get any Star Wars news. You're not going to see the next Marvel movie. You're not going to get the big announcements for the next Marvel phases. You're not going to get any of that, and it just sucks. But it is what it is. I went out on a limb this week by going to the Eisners, and I think it crashed and burned. It crashed and burned hard. Yes, this is the hunt. I agree. The best part of con is getting lost in the vendor room. Can't do that online. No, you cannot. Solo Wiki says, I'm only getting chipped if it's a rectal implant. Otherwise, no. Yeah. But hopefully, fingers crossed, if you're in the Phoenix area, we can all get together and enjoy and just take an extra second to enjoy what we have when Phoenix Comic-Con returns in January. I know I'm looking forward to it. I'm praying that my baby girl holds off making her grand entrance into this world until after Phoenix Comic-Con, so I can just go to a convention that I've been waiting 2 years just to be around everyone again and enjoy the medium and enjoy the fun and have a great time. I can't wait for that. If you guys are interested in any more Comic-Con at home stuff, you can go to their website and check out their panels. It's all being rebroadcast on YouTube also. Tomorrow is Fear the Walking Dead, and The Walking Dead World Beyond. If you're looking into that and excited about that. Otherwise, look at your leisure. Not much is being released. There's not much that you're missing out. So I hope you all have a great weekend. I hope you all have a great week. Thank you for joining me tonight. Again, I'm sorry that it went down that way. I thought it was going to be a little bit better. I'm not coming to Liefeld tomorrow, I don't think, because I really don't want to give that man $50 to autograph a comic book. I just don't want to do it. I already buy his books. If I buy, I'm not gonna give him $50 to write on my comic book. But I hope it goes well. I'm sure it will. He always draws a crowd. But yeah, I wanted to go wearing my Blocked by Liefeld shirt, but I don't want to ruin the vibe for everyone there. And I'm not going to pay 50. The thought had crossed my mind to pay the $5 entry fee and pay $50 just to have him acknowledge the shirt and sign the shirt. The Block by Liefeld shirt. I don't know. I don't know. Is that worth $50? Is that worth $50? I don't know. But maybe. I just don't want to do that. But part of me is like, I want to go wearing the shirt, the Block by Liefeld shirt, just to do it. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll make it there tomorrow. Plus with all the rain and stuff that's been in Scottsdale and the flooding, I don't know. But again, I hope you guys have a great time. Make sure to check out more San Diego Comic-Con stuff at home if you got a little bit of time to kill this weekend and you want to catch up on things. But that's going to be it for me. Thanks for joining me, guys. And so the $5 is to get the spot in line to meet him. You can show up and lurk by the door for free. Okay, cool. I might do that then. I just might peer in, face pressed against the glass. You see just nostrils push, stuff like this. Fucking breath on the windows. Mr. Liefeld, will you sign my shirt? Mr. Liefeld, are you all right? That'll be me. Just nose pressed up against the glass, awkwardly lurking and breathing heavily. So the big news too, and I've kind of not catching myself throughout this, is that we found out the gender last week. I revealed that I'm having a baby. We found out the gender this week, and I am actually having a baby girl. So I know I was hoping to raise up another geek the right way as a boy, but I'm going to do it, get more women into this hobby by bringing up my daughter into this this culture and fandom, and it's an awesome place to be. So I'm excited to have that opportunity. So I'll give you 25 cents. That book's got a little dirt on it, Liefeld, right? Hit him with the old Corbin Ford method of haggling, huh? This t-shirt has a little nothing wrong with Lady Geeks. That's absolutely right. Hit him with the old Corbin Ford school of haggling to try and get my shirt signed for less than $50. But I don't know. But yeah, guys, I want to thank you all for hanging out. Solo Wookie, Mrs. the Hun, Max Bender, man, everyone. Comics are fun. Stick Boy, Stumbling Jedi, Patrick, everyone in the chat tonight. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for always supporting the show. And even after leaving MCM, you guys are still supporting me. So thank you for supporting me in everything I do, and continue to do going forward. It means so much to me. You guys are amazing. And until next time, have a great weekend. Have a great week. And we'll see you next Friday.